Senator John Kennedy just obliterated AOC's 2028 presidential fantasy so viciously, I'm honestly surprised the building was still standing afterward.
Indiana Senator John Kennedy. Senator, thank you so much for joining us. What comes to mind, what comes to the stomach when you think of AOC running for President of the United States of America?
Well, let me address first your question about dark woke. I think the Democrats are trying to appear more manly. Just a thought, but they may want to consider first getting rid of their man purses and their organic broccoli. Dark woke, light woke, mellow yellow woke, it's still woke. And that's the Democrats' problem. If you believe the polls, Jason, most Americans believe that Republicans aren't perfect, but they think the other side's crazy. They think that Democrats, like Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, have chosen to become what my son would call utter nutters. I mean, you think about it, and think about what the Congresswoman stands for. If you're a Democrat in today's Democratic Party, you're not allowed to fire bad employees, to fire bad teachers. You're not allowed to cut wasteful spending. You're not allowed to deport illegal immigrants. You're not allowed to oppose MS-13. You're not allowed to like cops. You're not allowed to prosecute thieves who steal less than $950. You're not allowed to question vaccines. You're not allowed to oppose sex change operations for minors or transgender people in women's bathrooms or playing women's sports. You're not allowed to oppose critical race theory in our schools. You're not allowed to oppose reading porn to grade schoolers. You're not allowed to oppose racial quotas. But you are required to use certain pronouns and to believe that men can breastfeed. Now, I don't think I'm being unfair. This is what Democrats and Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez now believe. And a charitable interpretation for this kind of behavior does not exist. And the American people look at it and they just want to jump out of a moving car. And that's why Democrats are polling right up there with scalp psoriasis. In terms of the Congresswoman, look, I encourage her to run. I hope she does run. I understand. I listened to her speech. I understand her slogan is going to be "Change begins with a mustard seed," which I think is interesting. I guess if Governor Pritzker runs, his slogan will be "You can have a tummy and still be yummy." I don't know. I just think with the Congresswoman, if you scratch the surface, you get more surface. I don't think she has the intellectual firepower to run a campaign to be president, but I hope she does.
Yeah, it's interesting with Donald Trump. I don't think the Democrats ever took the time or had the inclination or even the ability or aptitude to understand Donald Trump and his appeal to the American people. I think authenticity wins elections and it wins hearts and minds. And Donald Trump has that top to bottom. It's authentic. And this dark woke is really interesting. You know, Donald Trump took this lane called common sense. And that meant that the Democrats, being anti-Trump, had to go the opposite of everything that is common sense. I mean, that's where I read it. Am I wrong on that?
No, I think Trump beat Harris because Trump represented hope and Harris represented more hurt. But I do think that what the American people trusted Trump most on was the economy. Inflation. I mean, inflation was man-made, and that man's name was Joe Biden, and it gutted people like a fish. And when moms and dads lie down to sleep at night, Jason, and can't, they're worried about the economy. They're worried about the high prices. That's why we've got to pass the reconciliation bill. That's our plan to deal with lowering these prices.
No, that is the key. It is a team sport, particularly in the House, and it'll be fascinating to see. But that Trump agenda and that one big, beautiful bill, we're counting on you and a whole lot of others to make it happen.
So picture this. AOC, with the confidence of someone who thinks online votes equal electoral votes, steps out and basically crowns herself the future Democratic nominee for 2028. No primaries, no competition, no reality check. Just pure wishful thinking. Kennedy looks at the camera and basically says, bless her heart, but wanting to be the nominee doesn't make it so. And the crowd goes wild. They laughed, they clapped. Somebody in the back almost fell over from the shockwave. Kennedy didn't just criticize her, he eviscerated the entire idea. It was brutal. It was savage. It was classic Kennedy, polite tone.l. He goes on and starts dismantling the fantasy point by point. Her policies, her inexperience, the fact that half her own party treats her ideas like hot potatoes. And every line hit harder than the last. It was like watching a surgeon operate with a chainsaw. The audience? Eating it up. And by the end of it, let's just say AOC's 2028, I am your future nominee moment is now somewhere between a meme and a cautionary tale. Please like, subscribe, and drop your comments. It really helps the channel grow.